Can you see that on your screen?
I can.
Is this the Facebook post that you saw related to Shanti's engagement ring?
Yes, it is.
And is this the ring that you saw her wearing in person and you sort of showing off when she was first engaged?
Yes, it is.
And in this upper right on the photo, let me get. In this upper right, you can just sort of look over your shoulder. I'm sorry. Is this a photo of Shanti and David Tronnes?
Yes, it is.
So speaking of David Tronnes, that we just saw in that photograph, had you ever met him?
I had.
Okay. Do you recall how many times or under what circumstances?
I know that he came to TriTech on at least one occasion that I met him. I met him at their house a couple of times. I met him at World of Beer when we were out having dinner, and we went to the concert together.
So I want to talk a little bit about the house. Did you ever have an occasion to go to Shanti's house?
I did.
And were you aware of the construction or
I was.
renovation issues?
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
I remember that it was just an ongoing process. She would say, oh, well, they made progress on this, but we found this, and this is a delay, and oh, we had to change this plans for this, and, they put some kind of special air conditioning unit in that then they had to change a bunch of stuff, and so I know it was just an ongoing, continuous kind of a thing.
Okay. At what point was it that you found out that Shanti was murdered?
So Shanti was...
that Shanti had died.
So Shanti was supposed to come to TriTech on Thursday. I guess it would be the 26th for our quarter-end review.
And sorry, let me stop you there. You said the 26th. Do you mean April 26th of 2018?
I believe so, yes. Yes. And so... she was supposed to come for our quarter-end review, and our computer systems went down. So my supervisor said, go ahead and call Shanti and tell her don't bother to head this way, because without the computers, we have nothing to look at. And I called the process improvement phone line, and Dave answered and told me that Shanti had passed.
Okay. When you were told that, do you recall any specifics of what he said about that she had passed?
He said he came home and he found her and he couldn't resuscitate her, and that he called 911 and there was nothing they could do.
Okay. What did you do after? And this is a phone conversation?
Yes.
What did you do after that phone conversation?
So I was very hysterically crying because, Shanti was my mentor. She was also my friend and my business associate. And I went into my boss's office to tell her that what I had just learned from Dave. And Dave was crying when I talked to him on the phone and all upset. And so Tammy said, I must have still been on the phone, because Tammy said, call him back and tell him when work is over, we'll come by there to see if there's anything he needs from us or anything we can do to help him. And so that's what I did. And
so at some point, I guess after the conversation, did you actually go to the Tronnes house?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And is this still on April 26th?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so you get to the house. Do you make contact with David Tronnes?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about what happens then?
So we got there and we came up to the gate and we called out to him, and he showed up. I don't know from where, but he showed up and he let us in, and we talked in the garage, and he was crying and distraught and very upset, and said that so here's the thing with Shanti, with the being prompt with the clients. Then David had told me that he had been questioned all night at the police department. So I knew that Shanti probably had 3,000 emails that had queued up at that point in time. And I asked David, did I have permission to notify the clients? And he said yes, but I felt it was disrespectful to notify the clients before notifying Shanti's family. So then I said, have you notified Shanti's family and friends? And he said no. So Tammy and I offered to help him do that.
And did you ultimately assist in notifying some individuals about?
I personally did not. Tammy made some phone calls because I was pretty distraught myself. So,
And when you went to the house and you talked to Dave, did you have any further discussion about how Shanti died?
he told us that she had head trauma and facial bruising.
Did he tell you that the police had told him that she had been murdered?
He did not ever say murdered, no.
Did he tell you that she had been strangled?
Never.
Would you recognize David Tronnes if you were to see him?
Yes.
Is he in the courtroom?
He is.
Okay, if you could just point him out and describe something he's wearing for the record.
He's wearing a striped tie and glasses.
Let the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant.
Thank you.
I don't have anything further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Defense, cross whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Mrs. Cutcher.
Good morning.
So you had an opportunity to meet and socialize with David Tronnes, correct?
Correct.
How would you describe him?
He was always very nice and polite and kind.
You had an opportunity during the times that you spent over at the house and interacting socially to see how he interacted with his wife, Shanti?
Yes.
You mentioned that some of the activities that you participated with with Shanti socially included going shopping, going to dinner. That dinner, was that enjoyed with Mr. Tronnes?
Yes, it was.
And tell us about that dinner. Who went?
Shanti and Dave were already there with some of their other friends. I can't remember who all was there, but I know that Dan and Cindy Dow were there because that's when I met Dan and Cindy. And my husband and myself and my daughter met them. It was at World of Beer, and we met up there with them and just had some food and some drinks and just socialized.
When was that?
I don't remember exactly. I know it was before January of 2018. It was in 2017. That's the best I can do.
All right. You also mentioned a concert. Did David go with you and Shanti to that concert?
Yes, he did.
Who else went?
It was just David and Shanti and myself and my husband.
Okay. Where was the concert?
It was at House of Blues.
At where?
Downtown Disney.
Okay, so in this area.
Yes.
Did you all ride together?
We did. My husband and I went by Shanti and Dave's house and picked them up.
Okay. How much time did you spend together with them on that occasion?
A few hours.
Had you also socialized at their house?
My husband and I never socialized at their house together. I had been to David and Shanti's house, not really on social occasions, but more business. But my husband, that's the first time he'd ever been there.
During those business interactions at the Tronnes house, did you have an opportunity to observe Shanti and her husband David together?
Yes.
How would you describe what you observed of their relationship?
A normal relationship.
Okay. Did David seem that he was loving to Shanti?
Yes.
Vice versa, she was loving to him?
Yes.
The prosecutor had asked you some questions about the engagement ring. You saw the social media post. Everyone saw that post, correct? It was something she was proud of. Anybody that followed her, yes?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much attention everybody pays, but...
And you indicated that you can't really remember a time that she didn't have the ring, but that wasn't something that you were hyper-focused on.
Absolutely.
Did you ever learn of a time that, she had to have the ring repaired?
No.
When you would interact with her at the house, what time were these meetings that you would have at her house?
I can't say. I don't have any recollection of specific times.
Okay. Were they during normal business
It would be during
hours?
normal business hours, for sure.
Did you have any personal knowledge about her nighttime, bedtime routine?
No.
Did you have any knowledge about her early morning, waking up, getting
Yes.
ready for work?
Yes.
routine? Okay.
I could text her at 5 o'clock in the morning and she would answer me.
But you don't know whether she would take her ring off at night or put
Oh, no, I don't know that.
like that? Okay. During the time that you knew Shanti and David, did you ever become aware of any trouble that they were having?
No.
Were you aware of the opportunity for them to do the zombie house flippers?
I was.
How did you find out about that?
Shanti told us about it on one of our times when she was at TriTech.
And how did she seem when she told you about it?
She seemed excited about it, and we, of course, said, you know, the typical, oh, that's so cool, let me know when and if it happens, because we want to make sure we don't miss it.
You know, Michael, I think the insight this witness can really give about the victim is not only maybe how she felt, what she was doing, how it was going with her husband, but everything about her life. Really, we work together. I know things about you personally. You know things about me personally. Sometimes you spend a lot of time with the people you work with, and those are your biggest confidants.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think what's important in this case also are her work habits, right? Because her work habits inform this idea that her phone wasn't used from 11 p.m. the night before, which we're going to continually hear was very odd for this woman who worked very hard and was very, very diligent in returning anyone who would try to contact her. So all those things I think are going to be important.
That timeline that's always important,
Yes.
and time of death, that might play into it.
No question about it. All right, we'll take a break. We've hit the pause button so you won't miss a moment of testimony. We'll pick things up right on the other side of the break. Keep it here on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, diving deeper into the Delphi murder case, shocking allegations of odious ritual sacrifice coming from the defense in the long unsolved murders of 2 young girls. And Maya Kowalski returns to the stand as her family sues a children's hospital for millions of dollars. What we learned from her testimony and how it all may be sitting with this jury.
Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Michael Ayala here with Judge Ashley Wilcott. Let's get back to the bathtub murder trial for defendant David Tronnes. He's accused of beating and strangling his wife in the midst of a stressful renovation, Shanti Tronnes. She married David believing that he was rich, worth $4 to $6 million, which turned out not to be true.
That's right. After the wedding, prosecutors say Shanti kept getting stuck with all of the bills. She was the main financial support, in fact, Michael. And in April of 2018, she was found dead in the couple's bathroom. So we want to get you back into the courtroom. Still on the stand is Shanti's co-worker under cross-examination.
The house. Did you have an opportunity to see Dave and interact with him there at the house?
Yes, I mean, minimally, because we were there to discuss business with Shanti, but yeah.
What kinds of things would he be doing when you were over?
Taking care of the dogs, cleaning the pool. I believe on one of our meetings that we were over there, he made everybody like water and iced tea and, you know, something to drink.
Okay. Where did you enjoy the water and iced tea?
On the back porch, they had table and chair out there next to the pool area.
So there was a living area outdoors?
I wouldn't call it a living area, but it was, you know, table and chairs, like a patio set.
Okay. A place where people could hang out and talk.
Correct.
You indicated on your direct examination with Mr. Smith that it would be super, I think these were your words, super unusual for Shanti not to respond to a text message or a phone call or an email.
Yes.
Did you become aware that Shanti had an illness a few months prior to her death?
I knew that she had had an emergency appendectomy.
After she had the emergency appendectomy, did you notice any difference in her responsiveness?
No.
Okay. I think you indicated that you found out from David on the phone that Shanti had passed.
Correct.
How would you describe his demeanor when you talked to him on the phone?
He was distraught. He was crying and he was very distraught.
Approximately what time was that on Thursday that you had that phone call with him?
I don't know for sure. I would like to say it was probably in the neighborhood of 8 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yes.
And then you said you told your supervisor, Tammy?
Correct.
And the two of you made a plan to go over later that day.
Correct.
Do you remember what time it was when you went over?
We actually did not wait until after work because I was distraught. So the president of our company said, you guys just go ahead, go take care of whatever you need to do. And so I would guesstimate, again, I don't know. I was in grief. I was in shock. It probably was somewhere around 10 or 10:30 when we got there.
Later in the morning?
Yes.
And how did David appear to you?
He was still crying and distraught and disheveled and just out of sorts.
Okay. When he had the conversation with you and he was describing what had happened to her, was he upset?
He was upset.
One moment, please. Oh, yeah. When the concert that you guys went on, when was that in time?
I believe it was December of 2017.
Okay.
Not 100% though.
All right. And did David and Shanti seem happy?
They did.
Did you talk to Shanti pretty much every day?
Not every day, but very often.
Okay. Had you talked to her on the Monday before her death?
I don't think so because my birthday was on Sunday the 22nd and she texted me happy birthday and I want to say that's the last communication that I had with her.
Did you ever become aware of any dental issues she was having?
I was not aware of dental issues.
All right. How did you prepare for your testimony today?
I just thought about what happened. I read through my prior transcript.
Okay. Have you watched any?
Prayed.
Have you watched any of the testimony in this trial?
I have watched a little bit of it yesterday morning. I can't watch a lot of it because it's too painful and I just don't. There are things I don't need to know.
I have no further questions.
Any redirect?
Briefly, Your Honor. So you went to a concert with Dave and Shanti, and you think around December 2017. It seems like you also might have gone to dinner or a world of beer with them somewhere around then. Did you ever have any interactions with the two of them together since December of 2017?
I don't think so, but I can't be 100% certain that there wasn't some kind of a brief business meeting. But I don't. There's none that I recall.
Thank you.
May this witness be excused from subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection, defense? Thank you. You may step down. You are excused.
Thank you.